Okay, well, ciao, everybody. How are you tonight? I know everybody's trying to keep warm. Um, what I'm doing tonight is just going to present to you a private tour through a company that I've done business with over the years. And I'm actually going to be in Italy prior to this trip. So that's kind of why this is happening. It wasn't in the plans at the beginning of well, I would say 6 months ago, but now it is. So I had a South Africa trip for October. We have to delay it till March of next year, March, April. We're waiting for some more final dates. But I figured now I can replace it with something else. So while I'm in Italy, I will be finishing the first tour on the 29th of September. That's why this is going to happen at that time, because I'll be there to greet everybody coming in. So this is a 13-day tour, starting in Rome, ending in Venice. And what I'll do is go through the itinerary with you once I can get it going here. So what'll happen is the idea is that we'll try and get everybody on the same flight coming into Rome. So it depends on what part of the country you're coming into. We can discuss accordingly. Again, this is a land tour. Air will be additional, but I'll go through that at the end. So you'll arrive, once you arrive into Rome, the driver guide, the tour director, and myself will be there to meet the whole group and get them settled into the bus. Well, it's a van, transfer van. So the group is not going to be any bigger than 14 plus me, somewhere in that 10 to 14 range. So it's a nice number. And what we're going to be doing is using up as much time as we can to see things, but not in a rushed way. Because anybody that hasn't been or have seen Rome, it's a little chaotic, more so now because the pandemic has put a hold on everybody and now everybody wants to go. So 2023 was just, from the tour operator's point of view, a nightmare to deal with the amount of people that were coming and the heat waves that were happening. So all that together made it a little bit, tough. But the idea is that we'll get picked up and we're not going to go to the hotel right away, because the idea is that if we're on the Air Canada flight, they'll arrive around 11:15 in the morning. So we want to use up the time to do some sightseeing at the beginning, to get a handle of the layout of Rome and the areas that we're going to visit. Also, there's going to be a time where the van is going to park and let us out, and the guide will take us to the Trevi Fountain. Around that area, we'll be able to walk around, see things, take pictures and all that stuff. But it's not meant to be like go, 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 go. And then we're going to have a dinner, and around 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that time, we're going to be transported to the hotel. The hotel is not right in the city center, only because of the chaos, the traffic, the noise. That's the one thing that I hear a lot when people do stay in the city. The noise, like even in the hotel, it's just very, very loud for resting. So we're going to be at the Hotel Belstay Roma. They've had a recent renovation where it's breakfast included, and we're going to stay put there 4 nights. But that's our base, and we're going to go out with the driver. So the one benefit of being there is that the driver guide is going to be with us. So that vehicle is there with us. So we're not having to wait for somebody to come and get us. It's allowed to park in that area. So that's the benefit of this hotel. So now we're going to start, doing the Roman things, the Colosseum, catacombs, all of these things we're going to be doing. And at the end of the day, we're going to have a dinner. So when we go to visit, we have a local guide. We have any skip the line tickets. I know last year the skip the line tickets still had a waiting time. So I'm hoping it's going to be better. So that's the one thing with the driver and the guides and the company we're with, they can manage a lot of this stuff. So, and know what time's best to be here and there. So that's the bonus there. So that'll be a full day of sightseeing, doing this kind of thing in these specific areas only. And then we'll go back to the hotel and have a local dinner there. So on day 3, again, more things to see. Of course, we've got the Vatican. We got the St. Peter's Square, the Basilica, Sistine Chapel. So again, the whole venue of things. You're going to be ticking off your list the whole time. It's going to be a little bit much, but this is what Rome is all about. For those that might have been or seen a little bit of it, you probably understand what I'm saying. Again, we'll have we'll have a traditional Italian restaurant dinner. So on day 4, this will be kind of our last day in Rome. So we're going to again go see some other places. It's amazing how much there is to see, but in a nice, comfortable way. So we're going to visit some things in the morning, and then the afternoon, it's like there's going to be free time to wander, to go back, to shop, but the driver will always let you know where we are, so you understand where we're supposed to meet. Okay, so it's just a place for you to wander on your own time and not have to be with the group if you don't want to be. And then we'll have a dinner there, and then back to the hotel for the next day, which is going to be now we're moving into the Tuscan region. So here we're going to stay 5 nights. So again, we're going to plant ourselves and we're going to do day trips out of there. Okay, so on the way to Siena, we'll be stopping at a village until we'll do some wine touring and stuff on the way. And then we're going to reach the Hotel Columbia Wellness and Spa Hotel, which is the images on the left. So I think I told you, there's breakfast daily at these hotels and places that we're visiting. The following day, we're going to go to San Gimignano and Volterra. I can't say that too fast. Anyways, if anybody's heard of it, it's like small villages, medieval towns. Volterra is the larger of the two, but we're going to go up after breakfast. We're going to head up to San Gimignano to visit, and we're going to probably spend about 3 hours there. A lot of it is you can really go out on your own and see things, do things. The tour guide will tell us about things, but you'll have some free time to, grab a cappuccino or whatever, a light lunch. Then we're going to head over to Volterra, which is it's a larger village with multiple things to visit and see and do. But apparently, I haven't done this drive, but it's supposed to be spectacular. So perhaps we might have to stop and grab a bottle of wine and some bread and cheese on the way. I'm not sure. So we'll be back at the hotel for the next day's trip. And this one is a cooking class. Who doesn't want to learn how to make authentic Italian food and have it to eat? Anyways, we're going to visit Lucca, which is another small town. Again, they all have something special in each village. So we're going to have the experience there. We'll have the afternoon for a walking tour. And when we're done there, we're going to head back. Probably around 4:30 is our end day where we're going to get back to the hotel. And the hotel itself has dinner available there. And there's also places you can stroll outside of the hotel for dining. This is a full day's Cinque Terre. Absolutely stunning. The pictures really hard to justify in these photos, but we're going to head down there for the day, and hopefully the weather will be good that we can be using a boat to get between the villages. But we'll also have our guide's going to be with us. So this is a full-on day where, again, you'll have time to stroll, time to experience, and take it all in. And then again, we're going back to the hotel. Of course, we have to go to Pisa and take those pictures of us leaning up against it, right? So here, another experience. And also, we'll go to a local farm, see how the olive oil is processed, hopefully buy some stuff too, because it's amazing. And of course, have some local dishes with the wine. And we probably will have wine. Olive oil. So the late lunch will be at the farm. So this is another opportunity to get that list checked off. On day 10 is our final full day from Tuscany, and we're going to do a day trip to Florence. where we're going to actually go into the museum, visit Michelangelo's David statue, and we're going to have a tour with the local guide. So again, another full day of visiting, and then back to the hotel where it'll be our final night before we move on to Venice. Oh, beautiful Venice. So we're going to drive to Venice, towards Venice, and we're going to do some sightseeing along the way. Once we get into Venice, because they've got a lot of different rules in Venice. You might have heard from cruise ships not being able to port there, to taxes and all of that stuff. So it's changed tremendously for the amount of visitors that they want there. So the idea is that we're going to get water taxied to our hotel where we can unload our luggage, and we'll take a walking tour to St. Mark's Square, see the Rialto Bridge, like it's just the glass factory. Those are all the famous things that you do and see when you're in Venice. You'll have some time to wander the channels of Venice, and then we'll end with the day with a nice local restaurant dinner. And our final full day will be a boat cruise to Burano Island, where we'll have some touring there again with lunch at the restaurant locally, excuse me. And then when we start to come back to Venice, perhaps we'll take a gondola ride through the channels. This is where there'll be some free time. We didn't want to keep it so busy so that prior to departing to go home the next day, that you have time to, walk about, on your own, at your own leisure, or do other things, whatever, but also time to get ready to go back home the next day. So in that day, you'll have breakfast before we leave. We'll have a lunch on Burano Island, and then come back to have some free leisure time before we leave to go home. And that is pretty much everything for this Italian tour. So in the round out of Venice. So just to get down to some nitty gritty, the tour pricing is $85.99 Canadian per person based on double occupancy, $99.59 Canadian per single occupancy. So the inclusions, you got breakfast daily, you have 3 lunches, 1 tasting, 1 cooking class, you got 4 dinners. When they say olive oil tasting, a local farm, the dinners will include a main meal. I think they even get specific about quarter glass of wine. So it's like two like an appy and a main meal. We have the private guide, and we have local guides in different areas, but we also have a driver guide that's going to take us from the airport. Every place we go, there's somebody with us. We're never left. I've included the prepaid gratuities to drivers and the guides so that you don't have to worry about that, because I know that sometimes it can be an issue when you're traveling with a group and what and who gets what. And so I figured I'll just throw it in. It's all prepaid. They'll accept that. Also, skip the line ticket. So anywhere we're going, anything that was listed on here is included in the price of the tour, and it's in Canadian funds. So of course they have euros. They convert it and give us the price. So what's not included? You've got your flights, insurance, any additional meals or beverages not listed. So, and flights, like I said, Air Canada for those in Ontario, Toronto, Rome, Venice, Toronto, direct nonstop. If somebody wanted to come in from the west, they can connect in Toronto, or we can look and see what's scheduled. The whole idea is when we have a group, we're all coming in at the same time, because we're all going together. So we have to arrange that. So you can talk to me if you're interested. We can sort out flights, or if you have Aeroplan or points, or it's a good time to use that stuff. Because right now, based on what I've been seeing, depending on the air that you're buying, if it's economy, premium economy, business, they have all different fares and all different rules. So if you go to the cheapest with no inclusions, meaning it's non-refundable, there's no seat, arranged. You've got to prepay for those. There's no luggage included. If you go for all of that, you're at about $1,100. Now, if you go to economy, but you want to take something more, so it all adds up. You've got to add more money. If you were doing an economy ticket that had flexibility, meaning it includes the bag, includes standard seats, it allows you to cancel, but you'd have a $400 cancellation fee. So they would keep that and give you the rest. Maybe you want premium, maybe you want business, I'm not sure. So just to give you an idea of where the pricing is. Right now, the business class tickets are just, yeah, everything's going through the roof. Premium economy is a good choice. That's probably sitting at around $30,000 per person, rough, give or take a few, and that's just from Toronto. So just to give you an idea. So information, insurance, of course, it's strongly recommended. So trip cancellation, trip interruption, medical. So whatever credit card you have that has the coverage, or if you have policies through work, find out what the benefits are so that you know when you buy, you know exactly what you have for insurance, right? Entrance tickets right now, skip the line. Sometimes things could change. And if it does, I would be advised. So right now they just have to put this out there that sometimes visits could be a problem or they could change, so that's just common. Canadian passports required. Right now, as long as you're Canadian and you have 6 months on your passport from the date of return of when the trip ends, you're good to go. Right now, they haven't imposed. There's like a visa that they're trying to impose for Europe, but it hasn't worked out yet. But if it does, I'll let you know. Currency, it's euros. Everything's in euros, right? So right now, the price they gave us is based on their euros. They use their conversion, whatever, and they give us the price. So if for some reason the euros fall, you know what I mean? There could be a fluctuation, but I haven't seen this happen in any of the tours I've done with these guys. And I've had people last year. Deposits and final payment. So 10 passengers to confirm. 14 max. With me would be 15. Right now, if you want to go, it's a non-refundable deposit to confirm, and I will only confirm it when I've got 10 people, like 5 couples or 4 and some singles or whatever. So just so you know. A second deposit will be required in April and the final being in July. Okay? Again, if we have 10 confirmed, I would probably recommend you book your air as soon as possible to get the best fare available right now. Q&As. The weather at this time of year is going to be heavenly compared to what it is in July and August. I know September is, they had some hot days there too, but normally mid-20s. So really nice weather to do what we're doing. It's kind of at the end of the peak season. It's just starting to wind down. So this is a good time for us to go. The currency, of course, is in euros. We have our personal driver each day with local guides. This type of trip is not really suitable for people that have difficulty walking. The cobble streets, that in itself can be a challenge. So, I just need to put that out there. Flights to be booked into Rome and out of Venice. We can review that if you have questions. And if somebody wanted to stay on after Venice or go way before, just let me know. We can work that out. Okay? And that's it. Grazie. So what I'm going to do now is stop the recording and bring you on in.